This is Oracle 12c Pluggable Databases Architecture Diagram. This box represents the Container Database, CDB. Container Database root container is called as CDB$root. This box represents the Container Database instance. This contains the background and foreground processes, System Global Area, SGA, and various other objects which are required to run Oracle Database instance. This box represents the Container Database files, known as root files. These boxes represent pluggable databases in the root container. In Oracle 12c Container Database environment, we have one listener, just like in traditional Oracle database environment. Whenever we create pluggable databases, it automatically creates a service inside the container database. So, the same listener will listen for incoming requests for both container database and pluggable databases. In other words, each PDB has its service registered with CDB listener. Hence, clients can make direct connections to the pluggable databases. Starting with Oracle 12c pluggable databases, we have to understand a new concept of common users and local users. Same with common roles and local roles. Common users are created at CDB root container, and they also exist in each pluggable database. There are two types of common users. First one is Oracle supplied common users, such as sys and system. Second type are user created common users. They must be prefixed with C ## symbol. These common users exist in each container, CDB and PDBs. Same rules apply to common roles. DBA and CDB. DBA are few examples of Oracle supplied common roles. Common privilege or local privilege can be granted to common role. These common roles can be granted to common users or roles. Local users exist at pluggable database level, and they are local to that container. Based on privileges, they can only access objects inside that pluggable database. It is possible to access objects in another pluggable database using fast inter-PDB database links. Same rules apply to local roles. Local privilege can be granted to local user or local role. Now, let us look at various database files in Oracle 12c Pluggable Databases environment. We have one set of common files for root container, one set of control files and redo-log files. Similar to traditional Oracle database, we have one set of data files for CDB root container. Every pluggable database contains its own set of system and sysaugs, data files, and temp files. PDB$C database does not contain user data files and does not have local users. Notice that undo is maintained at root container level. Thus, each PDB does not have their own undo table space. Flashback locks, archived, redo locks, and change tracking is also maintained at root container level. Starting with Oracle 12c, we have new set of data dictionary views called CDB_views. These are all container-wide views, meaning they display metadata for objects in the container database and objects across all pluggable databases. DBA_views display metadata for objects in a specific container or a pluggable database. All_views display metadata for objects accessible by the current user. User_views display metadata for objects owned by the current user. Here are a few examples of these views. A privileged user who is connected to the root container can use alter session set container command to change the current container. User must be connected to the root container and user must have set container privilege. After connecting to a container or changing to a container, we can check current container ID and name using syscontext function. We can also use SQL+ command show conID and conname to display the current container ID and name. This is the syntax diagram for create user command. Container clause is new in Oracle 12c. To create a common user, we have to connect to the root container. We have to prefix username with C## symbol and we have to specify container equal to all. To create a local user, we have to connect to a pluggable database. For local users, we don't have to prefix any special symbols to the username and we have to specify container equal to current. With Oracle 12c Release 1, we cannot specify the container name in this syntax. This is the syntax diagram for create role command. Container clause is new in Oracle 12c. To create a common role, we have to connect to the root container. We have to prefix role name with C## symbol and we have to specify container equal to all. To create a local role, we have to connect to a pluggable database. For local roles, we don't have to prefix any special symbols to role name and we have to specify container equal to current. With Oracle 12c Release 1, we cannot specify the container name in this syntax. Starting with Oracle 12c, grant and revoke commands also have container clause. Container equal to current for a local privilege and container equal to all for a common privilege. I am connected to Metal Gear Server as Oracle user. First, I will look at etc error tab file. As you can see here, on this server, I have an Oracle 12c database called Snake. By looking at process status output, we can see here that Snake database instance is up and running. I will set up Oracle environment variables using error env script. I will check listener status. As you can see here, we have one service handler for Snake database instance. We also have 3 extra service handlers for pluggable databases. This output is telling us that we have 3 pluggable databases in the Snake container database. Also notice that we have one service handler for automatic storage management instance and one for XMLDB. I will edit tnsnames.error file. This file contains connection strings for Oracle client. As you can see here, I already have an entry for container database Snake. I will change host entry from localhost to Metal Gear. I will add a copy of same entry with another name, cdb_snake. Notice that both Snake and cdb_snake will connect to the same service name, Snake. Now, I will add entries for my pluggable database services, PDBHR, PDB Sales, and PDB Marketing. I have added TNS names entries for my CDB and PDBs. I will use TNS ping command to make sure I am able to ping my database services. I will connect to the container database instance using SQL Plus assistDBA. First thing, I will check the current container ID and container name using syscontext function. As you can see here, I am connected to CDB $root container. I can also use SQL Plus show command to check the current container ID and container name. I have 3 pluggable databases in this container database. I will query username, common, and con ID from CDB users view, where account status is open, and username like sys. This query will list all sys accounts which are open in all containers. As we can see here, sys and system users are common and exist in all containers. These are Oracle supplied common users. These are user accounts in the CDB root container. These are user accounts in the pluggable databases. Now I will query for all local users. As you can see here, I have 3 local users which are local to their container. These are the PDB admin users created along with pluggable databases. I will exit from SQL Plus. I will connect to container database instance using common user system. I will check the current container ID and container name using SQL plus show command. As you can see here, I am connected to CDB $root container. Now, I will change my current container to PDB sales. I will use alter session set container command. Set container is a new system privilege introduced in Oracle 12c. User without this privilege will not be able to change container. I will check the current container ID and container name using syscontext function. As you can see, my current container has changed to PDB sales. Now, I will query username, common, and con ID from CDB users view, where account status is open. This query will list all user accounts, local and common, which are open only in the current container. As you can see here, we have PDB sales, admin, local user, and sys and system, Oracle supplied, common users. Notice, if I query DBA users view, it will also show users only in the current container. Now, I will change my current container to PDBHR using alter session set container command. I will check the current container name using SQL plus show command. As you can see, my current container has changed to PDBHR. Now, I will change my current container to CDB root using alter session set container command. Remember that I initially connected to root container using system user. So I have set container system privilege. Using this privilege, I was able to change containers. I will query CDB users view for all open accounts which belong to local users. As you can see here, I have 3 local users which are local to their container. These are the PDB-admin users, created along with pluggable databases. I will exit from SQL+. Now, I will connect to PDBHR container using local admin user. This is a direct connection to pluggable database. In reality, connections are established using CDB listener and CDB services. I can check the current container name using syscontext function. As you can see here, I am connected to PDBHR container. By default, PDB-admin users are granted PDB-DBA common role. To verify this, I can query user role privs view. I can also check current user session privileges by querying session privs view. As you can see here, current user has only create session, create pluggable database, and set container system privileges. These are the default system privileges granted to PDB-admin users. Current user has only minimum privileges. If I query $PDB's view, I will get an error saying table of view does not exist. This is because I don't have select privilege on data dictionary. I will exit from SQL+. Now, I will connect to PDBHR container using common user sys. This is a direct connection to pluggable database. I will check the current container name using SQL+ show command. Now, if I query session privs view, we can see this user has a lot of privileges in current session. Now, I can query $PDB's view, and we can see here, PDBHR container is open in read-write mode. I can issue a shutdown immediate command to close this pluggable database. You can see here, open mode for this pluggable database has changed to mounted. I can issue startup command to open this pluggable database. Note that, after connecting to pluggable database with required privileges, users will see minimum differences in traditional Oracle database and a pluggable database, especially in terms of regular database usage. I will exit from SQL+. I will connect to container database instance using SQL+ AssistDBA. I will query DBA roles view to check for a PDB-DBA common role. Note that I could have queried CDB roles view instead of DBA roles view. PDB-DBA common role is by default granted to PDB admin users while creating pluggable databases. PDB-DBA role, by default, does not have any privileges granted to it. We can check this by querying role syspriv view. We can grant privileges to PDB-DBA role to evolve PDB admin user privileges. I will grant create user, create tablespace, and select any dictionary system privileges to PDB-DBA common role. Note that I have used container equal to all clause. That means I'm granting these privileges to role for all containers. We can check these granted privileges by querying role syspriv view. Now, PDB admin users can create local users and table spaces in their pluggable databases. Also, they will be able to query data dictionary views. I will exit from SQL+. Now, I will connect to PDBHR container using local admin user. I will check the current container name using SQL+ show command. I will query session privs view to check current user session privileges. As you can see here, current user has 3 new privileges. Create user, create tablespace, and select any dictionary. Now, I can query $PDBs view to check current pluggable database status. I will query CDB users for all open accounts. This query will list all user accounts, local and common, which are open only in current container. As you can see here, we have sys and system, Oracle supplied, common users, and PDBHR admin, local user. I will also query DBA users for all open accounts, and it lists users which are open only in current container. I will query DBA table spaces view. Now, I will create a new table space for user indexes. This table space will be created in current pluggable database. I will query DBA users for all open accounts. This query will list all user accounts, local and common, which are open only in current container. As you can see here, we have sys and system, Oracle supplied, common users, and PDBHR admin, local user. Now, I will create a local user using container equal to current clause. This user will be created only in current pluggable database. I will try to create a user with container equal to all clause. This will result in an error. Common DDLs are only allowed in CDB root container. I will exit from SQL+. Now, I will connect to container database instance using SQL+ assistDBA. I will query CDB users view to check the local user I have created earlier. As you can see, it only exists in PDBHR container. I will query CDB table spaces view to check the table space I have created in PDBHR pluggable database. As you can see here, I am connected to root container. I will try to create a user without specifying container clause. This will result in an error, because at root container level we can only create common users. Common username must be prefixed with C ## symbol. Now, I will create a common user with correct syntax. Common username prefixed with C ## symbol and container equal to all clause. I will grant create session system privilege to this common user along with container equal to all clause. This user will be able to log in to root container as well as all pluggable databases. I will try to create a common user using container equal to current clause. This will result in an error, because for common user we have to specify container equal to all. I will try to create a local user in PDB sales container. This will result in an error. With Oracle 12c Release 1, we cannot specify the container name in this syntax. I will query CDB users view to check all open common user accounts. As you can see here, we have sys and system Oracle supplied common users in every container. Earlier, I have created a common user called C ## superhero. Notice that this user also exists in all containers except container ID 2. Container ID 2 is PDBseed database. Note that PDBseed database only has Oracle supplied common users. Now, I will try to create a local role in root container. This will result in an error, because we can only create common roles at root container level. I will try to create a role again with container equal to all clause. This will also result in error, because common role name must be prefixed with C ## symbol. Now, I will create a common role with proper syntax. The role name prefix and container equal to all clause. I can query CDB roles view to make sure our new common role got created. Notice that this role exists in all containers except container ID 2. Container ID 2 is PDBseed database. Note that PDBseed database only has Oracle supplied common roles. I will exit from SQL+. I will connect to container database instance using newly created common user. I am able to connect to root container with this common user. Now, I will connect to PDB marketing container using newly created common user. I am able to connect to PDB marketing container with this common user. Now, I am connected to GrayFox machine as Oracle user. I have installed only Oracle 12c client on this machine. I will edit tnsnames.error file. I will add tnsnames entries for CDB-SNCC and PDB-HR database services which are running on Metal Gear server. I will use tnsping command to make sure I am able to ping my database services from this client machine. Now, I can connect to services running on Metal Gear server from this client machine. In this session, we have discussed Oracle 12c pluggable databases architecture. We have discussed about CDB instance and root container database. We have also discussed about pluggable databases inside root container. We have discussed how CDB Listener will listen to requests coming in for both root container and PDBs using CDB services. We have discussed about common users, local users, common roles, and local roles. We have also created all these various users and roles. We have also discussed about root files and PDB data files. We created a table space in a pluggable database. Starting with Oracle 12c, we have a new set of data dictionary views called CDB_views. These are all container-wide views. We saw several examples of these views and their usage. We learned how to change containers using set container privilege. We also learned how to use syscontext function to display current container ID and name. We saw several examples of create user with new container clause. We created both common and local users. We saw an example of how to create a common role using new container clause. We saw few examples of granting privileges along with new container clause. Revoke syntax is similar to grant syntax.